everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name's Clarita. Welcome to the show. This is the Design Freaks podcast, also on YouTube. We talk about music industry, art, and design. This is my second mini episode. It's called Covers a Cover. I take one album cover and I give you some insight behind the design of the record sleeve. So this time I'm going to talk about 3 Feet High and Rising by De.A.I.S.Y. Please subscribe wherever you found this podcast. And for visuals, check out and subscribe to Design Freaks on YouTube. And everything else is in the old link tree. It's an old hollowed out tree where I put links inside. So go find it. So we recently lost a member of De.A.I.S.Y, which I can't believe. Trugoy the Dove, Plug 2, or Dave. And I didn't know he had such a beautiful name. His name's David Jude Jolicoeur, which translates from French to sweetheart. It's like right when the group is also re-releasing or reissuing their vinyl, getting the rights to stream all the music and all that. Life is short, I guess. Geez. So yeah, they definitely changed hip hop, and there's a million articles, about how 3 Feet High and Rising and the native tongues in general changed the trajectory of hip hop. All that's really fascinating. But today I'm going to talk about the design behind the record because this isn't just a tribute to Trugoy, although it is, but it's 3 Feet High and Rising is such a perfect example of how powerful art and graphic design and just packaging in general, how powerful it can be as an integral part of the music when it's done well and when there's proper amounts of thought and intention put behind the messaging and the storytelling of the record. My favorite De.A.I.S.Y album, as far as the music goes, is definitely Balloon Mind State. Sorry, but I think they were at a creative peak, but there's no denying that the design and the packaging and the statement made by all the visuals for 3 Feet High and Rising was game changing. I mean, they were rebelling against the status quo of hip hop and the rap industry. So first we have art direction by the Gray Organization, aka Toby Mott. He was is the founder and principal designer for the Gray Organization, or GO. Layout was done by Stephen Miglio, who has worked quite a bit with Toby, it looks like. Photography by Marie Henichar. She is French. That is how you say it. Illustration. So now we're moving to the inside of the record. The outside illustration was, like I said, Gray Organization. All those cartoons, remember the comics? And those little characters, the De.A.I.S.Y characters, that was done by Michael Uman or Uman or Human or Uman. I don't know. Let's start with art direction. In the 1980s, whilst living in New York, Go produced a series of album covers for Tommy Boy Records, including for De.A.I.S.Y's 3 Feet High and Rising and for the band Information Society. That's the one where they sampled Spock from Star Trek, and he goes,
Pure energy.
Whoa.
Pure energy.
Okay. He also made music videos for the Rolling Stones. Heard of them? And then he also did the Shut 'Em Down video for Public Enemy. Whoa. And A Tribe Called Quest, Can I Kick It? Which I remember seeing that video when it came out and going, that looked like a lot of fun to make. So good for you. And then in 2013, GO member Toby Mott was scheduled to exhibit a print edition of the original 3 Feet High and Rising album artwork, displayed alongside memorabilia such as Mott's original sketch, his gold disc, and other items from his private collection. So you can see that behind him. I'm going to put some stills from this YouTube video, which I'll have the link to in the show notes. And you can watch him explain this stuff But yeah, he basically he exhibited all of this stuff at Snap Galleries, Piccadilly, London, and then I found the video on Hyper Gallery Limited on their YouTube page. He describes the process of designing the album cover in his essay called "Hip Hop in the D.A.I.S.Y Age." He talked about we have come up with the D.A.I.S.Y Age visual concept. Now, that's interesting because they use that term in the record a lot. So I'm wondering, did they both, he and the band, come up with that together, the D.A.I.S.Y Age thing? Because it's in their lyrics, or did they take that cue from the art direction? It's very curious to me. Okay, so De La Soul visit our loft. And when he says our, I'm assuming it's him and the photographer had a loft where they would shoot, photographer Marie. So he said, they visit our loft where we lay them down on the floor, facing up, their heads making a triangle. That must have been fun. We photographed them whilst hanging precariously off a stepladder. One idea being that the cover would not have a right way up. So if you look at the record and the way they designed the hand-drawn lettering in a circle, the record really doesn't have a right way up until you flip it over. But yeah, well done. It's a cool concept. You know, the cover would not have a right way up. CDs had yet to be the dominant musical format yet. So the vinyl album sleeve was their most effective way of making a statement. He says, we layer the brightly colored hand-drawn flower designs made with Posca paint pens on acetate over the black and white photographic portrait. Very smart. Over the black and white photographic portrait print, which is rostrum camera copied. I'm not sure what that is. I need to look that up. Okay, so he says this is well before the time of Apple Macs, okay, Dad, and scanning, etc. The intent of the design of De La Soul's 3 Feet High and Rising LP cover is to be new and bright, with the overlaying of the fluorescent flowers and text reflecting a synthetic pop cartoon look. This is a move away from the prevailing macho hip-hop visual codes which dominate to this day. True, but not just in hip-hop. The macho visual codes are everywhere, especially rock and roll, I'll say it. So this album also not only was super popular, sort of rocketed them to fame, but it also was the first hip hop record to cross over into the indie market, which Toby Mott, translated as, obviously that means white audience. Yeah, if you're wondering why they went from the Dayglow D.A.I.S.Y Age to De La Soul is Dead, just listen to the lyrics, especially in the songs like Peace Porridge. So just to make a little disclaimer, or to make it clear that I'm talking today about the original designers for the album that was released in 1989, because there is a whole new designed suite of materials coming out of De La Soul. I pre-ordered 3 Feet High and Rising a while back. But yeah, you can order that at wearedelasoul.com, and there's all kinds of new stuff. So I don't know who the designers are for the reissue stuff, for all the new merch. I'm going to go back to the layout. Now, the layout, like I said before, was done by Stephen Miglio, and he also did graphic design and record sleeves for Africa Bambaataa, for Stetsasonic, which he was like the designer for Stetsasonic, which is so cool. I loved them, mostly because I had a huge crush on Prince Paul. Which earlier I was like researching this stuff, and I look over, and what's on top of my cassette pile is the Prince of Thieves single. So I still really love him. He's still around in my purview. He also did designs for King T, Queen Latifah, the King and Queen. Okay, he did other stuff for De-La, like singles and stuff like that. And then in more recent years has done album design for Arthur Russell as recently as 2017. Photography by Marie Henechar. So Marie does the most beautiful travel photography. I'm not seeing really anything else similar to the De La Soul photo shoot. I'm not seeing other music industry stuff, but man, gorgeous photos from all over the world. She contributes to all these different magazines. Yeah, but she does. I found one slide on her website that lists it's it's just a photo of the album cover and gray organization De La Soul. So, I mean, clearly she's been very busy, but to have this in her repertoire is so cool. And yeah, I recommend taking a look at her website if you want to go down a little dreamy rabbit hole of wishing that you were traveling like I just did. Moving on to the cartoon illustration, which I mentioned earlier, is Michael Uman. And the reason why I'm confused on how to say his name is he's listed as working from 2003 to present at Humanoid Studios. I'm assuming it's humanoid because of the word humanoid. And that makes me rethink about how to pronounce his last name. He did the inner comics for 3 Feet High and Rising, but he also did the inner sleeve of the Say No Go 12-inch single. So here is that inner sleeve. In this case, it's not really a comic. It's like a merch sheet. It's an order sheet where you can see all the different things that I should have ordered back then. I mean, can you imagine? Look at this. A Dayglow t-shirt, leather medallion, black medallions, no gold, hanging out with Poss, hanging out with Mace. Here they all are. You can see Trugoy is wearing both the buttons here. Maceo has the t-shirt with his own face. Very meta. And then Poss is wearing the medallion, and there he's pointing at the order thing. Remember these? And here's the back. Oh my God, Mac Daddy on the left is one of the best. It's a great B-side song. It's actually Chi Ali who ended up going on to have a whole career, but this was done. He was like a young teen rapper, and this was recorded when he was really little. I mean, he sounds like a little kid. It's really cute. Ed Lover makes an appearance on that song. I want to go back to, I found out something really interesting about Toby Mott. So he is responsible for 3 Feet High and Rising, the overall design, although it does take a group effort. Here's another strange connection. So I'm looking up the credits, Toby Mott's credits. I'm seeing all the records he's responsible for, him and the Gray organization. He's done Information Society, The Cult, De La Soul, of course, Public Enemy, tons of stuff over the years. And then, but I also saw a credit for this record, Master Ace, Me and the Biz. Now, here we have, this is a 12-inch single by Master Ace, the Brainiac Dum Dum himself. Here he is. But it's a song about his friend Biz Markie, R.I.P., another fallen hip-hop king. But in the photo shoot, it's a puppet, and I've always wondered. I got this when it came out. I love the song. It's great. It has one of my favorite samples in it. You'll recognize it. But I've always wondered, where is that puppet? Does someone still have that puppet? I wonder if it's around. Like, here you can see. Okay, so let me back up. Let me tell you why this has. So Toby Mott didn't design this record. He did not design this sleeve. Let me back up. If you look at the credits on the back, it says designed by Aldo Sampieri. Sampieri? I don't know. It's 2-point font. Aldo, please. Why put your name so small? And George Dubose. And then Biz Puppet by guess who? Toby Mott. So I've been wondering all these years, where is it? I just came across the person who made it by researching 3 Feet High and Rising. Am I getting closer to finding out the answer to that question? Probably it's he went into the trash because it grew mold or something. But anyway, it looks like a foam puppet. It's like a life-size foam Biz Markie puppet wearing, obviously, what I'm assuming is Biz Markie's actual jewelry. It's not the puppet's jewelry. But like a giant 4-fingered ring or 3, I guess the puppet has 3 fingers. that giant ring, and then a giant gold dookie chain. And then on the back, there's all these outtakes from the photo shoot. There's like the puppet getting violent and, sitting down and like little outtakes. And it has the most bugged out eyes and the Bismarcky gums. It's so cute. Now more than ever. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I totally forgot to point out I forgot to talk about the Buddy and Ghetto thing, 12-inch single as well. Also done, it looks like, by Gray Organization. And if not, Tommy Boy just had their designer do it in the style of, I really wish that was left aligned. Yeah. Kind of drives me nuts. Okay, but this is this is the Douglas Brothers photo shoot, and they look pretty serious here. I know it's not 3 Feet High and Rising, but these are singles from the album, so it counts. What else do I have to say about 3 Feet High and Rising? You can go to wearedelassoul.com and pre-order the record. There's a pink one, a yellow one, and a black and white. I mean, I don't know what else I can say, but I can't believe the Bismarcky connection. Great, powerful design. I don't know. I want to leave with some profound thought. I'll leave you with some lyrics, some Trugoy lyrics. Dazed at the sight of a method, dive beneath the depth of a never-ending verse. Gasping and swallowing every last letter, vocalized liquid holds the quench of your thirst. Thank you for everything, Dave, and thank you, listener. Life is short. Take care, and
Peace. Or else.
Hey, you're on Rosen Station.